So I took off with no plan, thinking I could find a friend, saying hi and shaking hands. I hope this moment never ends. It feels so good out on the road and on my own.
Ah yes, the elusive escape to freedom, a concept that video games are known for. Road 96 takes this even further by placing yourself in the shoes of teenagers who are literally escaping a totalitarian government. Your ability to do so hinders upon the choices you make along the way, as well as the rotating cast of characters who accompany you on your journey to the end of the road. Where Road 96 separates itself is in the episodic and procedural elements of it. As you take off down the road as a nameless teenager, you will meet a specific character to converse with, play mini-games with, or whatever interactive task they put you up to. You also might be exploring the area where they send you to, depending on who you meet up with. These are distinctly varied, randomly generated, and intentionally make every playthrough of the game feel different. You might be playing the trombone at a campsite in one moment, or robbing a diner in another.
Kids, can you see us on the camera?
Look around. See a layout of the office?
It takes roughly an hour to make a run to the end of the road, as long as you don't run out of money, food, or die along the way. Little choices you make when exploring also contribute to your ability to make it to the end, as well as weighing if you should walk, hitchhike, or call for a cab between story moments. Whether or not you do, all subsequent runs with a new teenager evolve the story to greater depths, allowing you to experience more interactions between yourself and the next cast member.
As you know, the Sonia Show is very concerned about our youth who continue to mysteriously disappear. Let's view today's Missing Teen Report.
I probably am not going too far out of a limb to say that you or I have never really played a procedurally generated narrative game before, or even know if one exists outside of Road 96. It honestly doesn't sound like it would work in practice, but it does. The story explores some interesting and relevant topics without hitting you on the head too much with them, and has an addicting quality that makes you want to keep playing until the end. It's not without some very minor technical faults, but nothing that gets in the way of your enjoyment. I also really like the original 90s soundtrack, all which helps to set the tone of a teenager escaping during that era. Road 96 in general feels wonderfully put together, even though technically nothing is stitched together intentionally ever. It really is an accomplishment that the game works as seamlessly as much as it does.
I couldn't help but explore.
Hey, wake up.
So I
Come hang out with me.
no plan.
I do want to briefly mention how hard it is to make a good story or narrative in a video game. The medium is tough for a number of reasons we won't get into here. A lot of older games follow the traditional linear format of cutscene, gameplay, and so on until you finish. This can be predictable and at times makes it feel like you're not really contributing to a game's result. On the other hand, there's plenty of newer games like Until Dawn and The Dark Pictures where your decisions heavily impact the outcome of the story or who lives or who dies. This choose-your-own-adventure style is neat but often gimmicky and leads to the same result in the end. Road 96 somehow manages to walk the line nicely between both of these styles by blending cutscenes with exploration and action moments, all while advancing all of the characters' individual stories you meet along the way. You feel like your decisions are greatly impacting your own individual path as a nameless teenager with major stakes, but are also realistically only contributing a small part to the main storyline, which gives the game plenty of room to explore some fairly deep topics in the end.
You're the worst camera person in the history of camera persons.
For me, Road 96 scores a very good 82 overall. Definitely be aware that the game itself is one that is more story than gameplay, as it is almost as equally enjoyable watching someone play as it is playing yourself. My best simple comparison is if you combined the Life is Strange series with the Telltale game and threw in some randomly generated elements. The way the story is presented is so unique and engrossing enough that your ability to maneuver yourself within the game's universe becomes its biggest selling point, as well as the artistic elements of adding in that Western and 90s flair. It truly does a lot of original and interesting things that made it a game I kept coming back to just to see what twists and turns it would take. Pick it up if you are a fan of story-driven games, and definitely at least consider it if you're in the mood for trying something new.
Let's play Bella Ciao. I used to play this all the time. You know. Come on, don't be scared. Give it a shot. Not bad. Not bad.